They say a friendship that lasts longer than 7 years will last a lifetime.
We had been friends for 7 years.
I don't know about you, but not for Brianna and her friend Chu. Who? Chu. That's not Chu, that's Chloe. That's literally Chu.
I call her Chu. I've said it the whole time. That's not her name. Everyone from the UK I've ever met, they call her Chloe.
What? I don't know. But I do know that she was meant to be her bridesmaid.
Part 1 of Who the My Bridesmaid, because I just had to kick my bridesmaid out of my f***ing wedding.
The bridesmaid she's known for 7 long years that will stand by her side on her biggest day, except, plot twist, the bridesmaid is not real. Who is Chu? Her cancer diagnosis, fake. Her wife doesn't exist. Her siblings, characters in her self-written fanfiction. You did not invite a bridesmaid, you invited a con artist in a dress. Welcome to another episode of Who the F You Guys Letting Into Your Lives. First it was Reesateesa and we said, okay, it's a bit much. Then the Pastor Mark thing happened. Then Brett and Maria, and now this. How do we get to a point where you gotta look into your best friend? Someone you've known 7 years. You've cried with them, you've lived with them. You've made them your bridesmaid. Now you've made them into a TikTok series.
The fact that this all started because she owed me $13.44.
That tiny unpaid debt cracked open biggest can of lies I've ever seen in my life. We're talking fake cancer, fake wife, fake siblings, fake identity, an entire person who basically did not exist that you lived with. A pathological liar uncovered, all because Brianna wanted $13.49 back.
Damn.
What an investment. Brianna and Chu's been friends
For 7 years.
She lived with her for a while. She paid nothing.
Rent-free, utility-free.
Brianna, that's generous, but she's struggling, okay? She's
A full-time student.
And unlike Brianna, Chu comes from a
Very wealthy background.
I mean, if you're living with your best friend who you can see is visibly financially struggling as a full-time student, it would be nice to contribute. Right? I don't know. Anyway, Chu is a heavy smoker, and one day she coughs up blood onto Brianna's sink.
What the f? And she said, oh, it's the chemo. She has breast cancer.
Chu tells Brianna about her cancer diagnosis, and she tells her she's gonna have to go back to the UK at some point for her treatment.
I was like, wait, we go clubbing all the time. You're constantly drinking and smoking.
I mean, some people just don't really care about their health, right? Some people are careless about their health. Something's not right. Clubs, smoking, bars, drinking, all the time, yet...
Ever since I met her, she has always been broke, needing money from her late mother, family members, friends, everyone that I can think of, really.
That right there was the root of the entire issue with Chu.
Everyone that she knows has some type of story about her borrowing money and not paying back.
Every single person. Clearly, she's got a problem, okay? I mean, she keeps taking money and she's never giving it back. That's not a friend. That's a scammer. I'm sorry, but that is literally what a scammer is. If you gave a friend like $5 and they didn't give it back, like, that's not a big deal. But if they keep asking you for $5 every 2 days and they never give it back, it becomes a big deal. You didn't adopt them. You're not their legal guardian. You don't need to give them $5 every 2 days, and they shouldn't make you feel bad for not giving them $5 every 2 days. No, but not here. The B in Brianna here stands for bank, and the C in Chu stands for cash withdrawals. If a friend asks you for money just once and you don't give it to them, just that one time, it would be a different story.
We stopped being friends in 2022, 2023 for like a year because, again, money.
Not anymore, though. The B in Brianna now stands for boundaries. Boundaries that she was offended by. She called her a
Bad friend.
How dare you not allow me to tap into your wallet as I please?
bad friend for doing what? For doing exactly what you or anybody else would have done in this kind of situation and with this kind of parasitic friendship. The logical question we ask ourselves is, why are y'all friends? I mean, a friendship that seems to only serve one party, like you'd walk away from, right? I mean, you're being used.
Bad friend, don't walk away.
The issue is that she walked away and walked right back because they became friends again.
When we became friends again, my boundary with her was, I do not want to lend you money anymore. I don't want to lend you money. And that boundary was respected for a bit until
Until Brianna caved in and started lending her money again and had to chase her to get it back.
last year, my husband lent her money. She said she'd pay him back in like a week. Took like 2 months to get that money back.
Once it's I forgot my wallet.
When in reality, her wallet was in her purse the whole time.
Oh, I left my wallet in the car. Oh, I left it at home.
But the last straw was one fateful night at a karaoke bar. Okay, it was a big night. Brianna and all her friends were going out that night, including some visiting from abroad. And on her way to karaoke, Brianna gets a call from Chu. Hello?
She says she left her wallet at work.
Oh, what a surprise! Now, I'd be surprised you brought your wallet. She left her wallet at work. Conveniently, she works at a school, so her wallet is locked up at school all weekend until Monday. This is a job that Brianna landed her, by the way, but we'll get to that later.
All weekend, how am I gonna survive?
Without my wallet.
Fine, I'll give you 20 bucks. I get the cash out, I give her the cash. Night's fine, we have a good night. I'm about to leave.
When Chu stops her.
What do you mean you're about to leave? $20. I said a weekend.
Chu looks at her and asks her,
How much more money do you have left in that purse? Yeah.
Brianna had 5,000 yen.
Just think of it as like 50 bucks, essentially. And I was like, yeah, I just have like 50 bucks. And she's just looking at me.
What do you want?
And I'm like, nah, I'm leaving. So I left.
Mind you, this is after the friendship had already ended previously because of her constantly lending her money and her not being able or just not paying her back. It was also after she was already given $20. If she really needed it, it wouldn't matter, okay? She should take the 20 and the 50. Here's the thing though. Yeah, you're gonna want to sit down for this. The night after the karaoke, Brianna went out with her friends, other friends.
To the club, but she comes along. And how does she come along? How are you paying for the train? How are you paying for your drinks? It doesn't make sense.
She had her wallet on her the whole time.
Monday rolls around.
No money.
Tuesday comes around.
Chu, where's my money? I lent you $20.
You can come pick it up tonight at a bar at 9 p.m.
No, I'm gonna be in bed. That's 35 minutes away from me.
She said, come pick up the 20 bucks that you're gonna spend on your way to and from the 20 bucks.
What the are you doing at the bar on Tuesday anyway?
Apparently that bar is where her boyfriend works, who she, unsurprisingly, also owes money. So her idea of paying you back was inviting you to another place where she owes more money. 70,000 yen she owes. It's about $500 in old bar tab fees. This wasn't $500 that she needed for rent. This was $500 worth of drinks she didn't pay for. Brianna says it was
$700.
Anyway, Chu and Brianna finally agreed to exchange their $20 at a concert they were all going to that weekend.
And Friday comes around and she tries to soft launch that she's not feeling good.
Hold on! What do you mean you're not feeling good? Does that mean she's not going to show up and not going to pay up the $20? You know what? Keep the 20. That's when you distance yourself again. This 20 ain't worth it.
She's gonna be in that area. Even when her mom passed away, she was in that area drinking and smoking.
She ghosts them. She never shows up to the concert. They check her location. Looks like she's at a new bar 5 minutes away. Apparently, they'd all gotten tickets and she never did. She said she was going to be able to get in for free because she knows a guy who knows a guy. That was virtually impossible. They come to find out. Someone they met at the concert told Brianna, like,
I'm a DJ at this place. Like, I can't even get in for free for this event.
oh, and another lie! What a surprise. Starting to look like there's a bit of a pattern here, okay? And the lying is just one of the problems. There's other things here, but fast forward to January of this year, all right? And Chu is in tears. She sits Brianna down. She wants to share something. She says,
I need to tell you something. She's in tears. I'm like, what? And she's like, I have breast cancer. Like it's new information.
we've been over this before though. When you coughed up blood in the sink, she must have forgotten that she'd already shared this, but she told her that she needed to go back to the UK for surgery and that she had a scan done and everything.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm here to support, you know, because who lies about that?
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty messed up. Who would lie about that? That would be emotional manipulation. Now, there's two emotionally taxing things that are happening to Chu simultaneously here, okay? Her mom passes away while she is behind on payments for her university tuition. It's a stressful position to be in. But Chu's been saying that she is going to be a millionaire when she gets her mother's inheritance money. She just needed to fly back to the UK to manage her mother's businesses.
She said that she handled everything, everything's taken care of, and now all that she really has to take care of is basically getting the inheritance money to her account, essentially. But this has been going on for the past last year. And I know these things take time.
Something was not adding up, so Brianna decided to dig deep.
It is true, her mother had a lot of different businesses.
Businesses, you said?
But they have all since been dissolved and liquidated before she even passed away.
She texts Chu's friend from back in the UK who says,
her mother basically died broke in a lot of debt trying to fund her daughter's lifestyle while in Japan.
That just sounds like a dig to me, you know? Her mom died broke funding her daughter's lifestyle while she's in Japan. Do we know that is true? Because that sounds like a pretty harsh thing to say about somebody's deceased mother. But anyway, that pushes her to dig deeper, okay? This is a friend she's known for 7 years. She knows enough about mom to be able to dig deep. Results, businesses with late payments, a lot of notices, and a co-director that goes by the name Barbara Cahan. Who's Barbara? A quick search on this government website that lists public information on companies pulls up a few search results for Barbara Cahan, okay? 22,777. It's a total number with a date of birth at 1931. She's been appointed a director in 2016. How many years is that? That's at the age of 85, you know, she'd resign 10 days later. Another 16 Feb, 16 Feb, 16 Feb, 16 Feb, 16 Feb, all on the same day. It makes little sense. And she's resigned on the same day as well. Some of these companies have dissolved statuses, some of them are still active. But what could this mean? How does that make any sense? An 85-year-old lady opens a company, becomes its director, resigns on the same day, and the company's dissolved. It sounds odd. So let's ask a lawyer. Claire here, a solicitor, says, Barbara is indeed a real person, as otherwise she could never have been a director. What happened is that she was employed to set up the company for the eventual directors, and as soon as it was set up, she stepped down so that the company that belonged to the people who had paid her to set up the company would take over. It's known as buying a ready-made company. She sets it up for you, you buy it off her, you become the director, she resigns same day. Now that response was to a question that was already asked. Somebody'd already asked who Barbara was. So whoever asked that question asked it about 10 years ago, all right? And they followed up the response they got from the lawyer with another question saying Barbara Cahan, who is the director of among 16,942 companies, who supposedly lives on this address with her 8,093 roommates, the address that she also shares with 11,172 companies. She was 82 years old when this was posted. Today she'd be 94. They're insinuating that this lady is involved in trading empty corporations, which they said comes handy when trying to commit bankruptcy fraud. And there's a couple of articles that bring up bankruptcy fraud and Barbara. Barbara, the same lady that Brianna found tied into Chu's late mother's businesses. Claire insists, however, the lawyer, that this is not an unusual process and it's a perfectly legal process, so perhaps she was just involved in setting up companies. You know, that might have been her job, but Brianna believes that she was involved in
investment fraud.
We don't really know that though, but
now I find out that Chu is getting sued in the UK because of her mother's debts.
Now that's crazy. I thought debt was not something you inherit. You went in to inherit your mom's money, you end up inheriting her debt. Debt should not be something that you get transferred from one person to another. In extremely rare cases, maybe. But here's the thing. Remember, two emotionally taxing things happened at the same time here, okay? Her mom had passed away and she didn't have money to pay for her university's tuition. She didn't have money to pay for her mom's funeral either. So she asked for money. People helped her. They gave her the money for the funeral, only for Brianna to later learn that she never paid for the funeral. Yes, people gave her money specifically for her to be able to pay for that funeral, and she never paid it. She probably had somebody else pay it. That's fine. But what are you doing with the money, though? She also
asked for someone to pay for her tuition fees at school. They gave her the money. She still owes the university she went to because I got her into that university. When she was getting expelled, I got her a meeting with the dean to see if there's any way to rectify it.
People gave her the money for university. They gave her the money for the funeral. She paid neither. The school, indifferent to her mom's passing, kicks her out. Apparently, she's been years behind on tuition.
It's a business, I fear.
It's not just a business, though. Many schools and universities do accommodate students in tragic circumstances, given that those circumstances are in fact true. Because what have you done with the money? You were given the money for your tuition and given the money for the funeral. You asking for $20 here and $50 there, claiming you haven't got your wallet. That's your wallet. in your hand. Now, without a university enrollment, Chu risks losing her visa and her right to reside in Japan.
So I helped her find a job, and that's how she got her work visa.
She's teaching at a school.
I knew how much her salary was going to be, around 220,000 yen maximum, because that's how much teachers make here.
It's about $1,500, all right? She's been working very hard, supposedly. She's working 70 hours a week, long 12-hour shifts. The school is, sorry, I thought this was a hospital. This is 12-hour shifts at a school. But her paycheck only comes out to 108,000 yen, less than half of what she was supposed to earn. Well, apparently she's been missing a lot of days at work.
Because I'm always calling into work sick. She called hungover. She showed up to work drunk.
She's never opened a bank account in Japan. So that salary that she earns lands in her friend's account. That's how Brianna was able to know how much her paycheck was and why it was half of what she was meant to be earning. Through her friend's account. A friend who Chu also lives with. Rent-free, utility-free, of course. She always gets the good deals. Chu's been evicted from her place for not paying her rent. And she's been paying her bills, she says, but they keep cutting off, like the gas, for instance, which is not something that happens in Japan. You don't pay for a service and then they just don't give it to you because they just don't want to. Brianna calls that friend.
So I called that person to see what's going on with her paychecks. She hasn't made over 200,000 yen per month in the 3 months that she's worked there.
Chu is not okay, from what I'm hearing. But that friend isn't either. That was a friend that Chu had essentially been using.
I told her to get out of this situation.
What situation? Well, apparently, I'm gonna need to sit down for this one. She's been in a situation with a bad guy. As in really bad. Yakuza. Is that where the money's been going? I wouldn't be surprised. But the crazy part is, apparently the mob's been just strolling in and out of her friend's place like it was a 7-Eleven. The friend had no idea that Chu would be bringing this dude into the house. She had no idea. She let her just live there. Why is everybody babying this lady at this point? How is everyone so supportive? Remember, she sat Brianna down and told her she had cancer. Her mother had also passed away. It's only reasonable to be a good person, to be there for this person who you believe is your friend, to support her, which is what her friends were doing. Someone you knew for 7 years, you'd ask them to be your bridesmaid.
I asked her to be my bridesmaid because we were really, really close. And it was not clear to me how, the extent of her lies.
I don't know. I feel like this lady needs help. She's wreaking havoc in everybody's lives at this point, and it would be definitely better for them to distance themselves a little bit. But also, Chu herself sounds like somebody who needs help. Right? Chu sounds like a self-destructing person. I don't know if she'd be able to pull herself out of this pathological lying cycle she's placed herself into. But I don't think that's somebody else's job either to fix. That should come from Chu. But her friends did try to fix a lot of her problems. She got her a job, remember? Brianna.
But to work in Japan, you need to take a health exam, and she did. And she went and posted a chest x-ray on her own public Instagram story.
First of all, who kind of doctor do we go to here? Who's letting somebody take an x-ray with that big-ass chainmail necklace around their neck? It's not a medical x-ray. It looks like a TSA baggage screening. Brianna says
the x-ray was clear.
No breast cancer, but an x-ray doesn't say much.
I understand you need a mammogram and you need, an MRI. Even so, the x-ray was clear.
Out of worry and concern, Brianna tells her husband about Chu's cancer. All of this combined, borrowing money, not paying back, the lying about the wallet, the karaoke night, the cancer, the tuition she's been given money for that she's never paid. All this had led Chu's friends, including Brianna and her husband, to sit Chu down and have an intervention. It's time to ask questions. Did she actually have cancer? She admitted, apparently, that she did not. Chu backtracked. She said they were benign tumors and she was having them dealt with. An intervention that featured one of her closest friends who looked at her and said, "Benign tumors? And you never told me. I'm your closest friend. You never told me." And she's like, "No, oh my God, I didn't tell you, but I did tell you." Brianna does not believe it. Starting to sound like the only thing she is terminal with is lies. At the same intervention,
she said she's making 380,000 yen per month. No one is making that much in Kyoto as an English teacher.
We also know that is not true because they saw her paychecks, which land in the friend's account. Now, that intervention, the fact that they would ask her questions and she would reply with answers that they know are not true, combined with their prior suspicion rooted in the fact that they constantly lend her money that she never pays back, it started pushed them to start an open investigation into her.
So last week, she sent me basically an Instagram message, like a disappearing photo of on this day last year. I was like, huh? Like, I was like, what happened? She said, oh, remember when I had a suicide attempt and you and your husband had to come and save me?
And other friends confirmed that Chu had said this. Okay, they said she had OD'd.
What the are you talking about? And it's such a slap in the face because I have OD'd twice, you know, trying to myself. So I'm just like, you're lying.
When Brianna and her husband arrived at her house 1 year ago,
her door was unlocked and she was just on the bed on her phone.
I don't see why and how that would be something somebody would ever lie about. Who lies about this stuff? It's like every time Brianna pulls a receipt, Chu drops a new tragedy, like it's an Uno reverse card. Actually, Brianna came to find out that the bond she thought she had with Chu, that trauma bond that initiated their friendship, could have been based on absolute lies.
You have a trauma? Me too!
That could have been a lie. That's traumatic. Imagine finding a safe space to share what you've been through with somebody who has been through something similar, only to find out that everything they had said was orchestrated, manufactured in a way to win you over as what? I don't know, an ATM machine. That's traumatic. But Chu, her identity as a married Vietnamese, I had that there
for this moment.
As a married Vietnamese lady with an alleged sister and an alleged brother, that identity crumbles from here. Chu has more nationalities than a Eurovision finale.
Tell me why I just found out she is not Vietnamese. She has told us ever since we met her, 2018, that she is half Vietnamese, half Bajan from the Caribbean. Turns out her dad is fully black. I just learned that today.
Like, why would you lie about where you're from? You're not only lying about it, you're upholding that lie, creating an entire persona around people that you've been around for almost a decade.
Her whole time she was talking about how she has a Vietnamese family and people from Vietnam, and her dad is Vietnamese from Vietnam. And I met her sibling. I knew her sibling. She looked fully black, but you know, mixed genes, you never know.
Chu's childhood friend spilled.
What do you mean? Her dad is black.
Brianna was shocked.
Does her wife know this? Because she said she's married, you know, to a woman. She got married in the UK. Her friend is like, married? To who?
To the person she said she was married to.
Girl, that's my cousin. They're not married. They're friends.
You're gonna want to sit down for this one as well. Sit back down. Her name's not Chu. The UK side of her identity calls her Chloe. But guess what? Chloe isn't even her name! Oh my god.
This whole thing has been a lie. This whole thing has been a lie.
Who is she? What is her name? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Okay, it's better that we leave it that way.
Chu is actually like not a Vietnamese name. It's a surname.
You lied about your name. You lied about your wife. You lied about where you're from. This is like a lie that's been carried for a decade. Like, who do you know for a decade almost? 7 years. Imagine everything you know about them isn't true. Their name, where they're from, if they have any brothers or sisters. Very basic information. Like, that's how you introduce yourself to somebody. You know, things you find out about somebody staying with them a day.
I had just found out that the half-sister that I met who came into my house is not her sister. That's her friend.
She was telling her friend in Japan, she was like, can you believe it? That wasn't her sister. That was her friend. And they go, no! What about her, the brother?
What the do you mean? She told me she only has sisters.
Her family trees, like a Wikipedia page. Anyone can edit it. It's Rafi, supposedly her brother now. She texted him. He said, what? Also a lie. Like, he knows Chu, I guess, but like, she's an acquaintance. We're gonna need to ask you a few questions. Cue intervention number 2. They had another call. This was after she had shared a lot of the story to the internet and shared a lot of her revelations. They interrogated her. You know what? Her friends, they deserved the truth. I mean, they deserved to know who it was that they had shared their time with all those years.
She finally admitted verbally that she is not Asian.
She admits her sister is not her sister, but in a classic pathological liar kind of way, she flips the script. She says,
what? Never said that. How could I have said that if we were friends like since 2016?
She admits she's not married though. No, it's not a marriage, it's simply a legal partnership. Let's just verify that real quick.
I reached out to the so-called legal partnered wife, and she was like, LOL, no.
Oh, so we lied again. So clearly, we're not getting answers here. There's no closure for this story. So I don't know what Brianna's doing, asking her questions that she wants the answers to, because she's not going to get them. No, that's just what pathological liars do. They just let you chase around your own tail. There is no way, without help, that she would be able to sit down and have an honest conversation with herself to stop herself from lying. I don't think so. personally. So let it go. That's the healthiest thing you can do for yourself. You're not going to get whatever satisfaction you seek by having an intervention, sitting down and talking to her. She's been learning worse and worse things. This friend of hers who she had known for 7 years, who she had asked to be her bridesmaid, has been telling people that she's been itching to sleep with Brianna's husband.
She's begging me to take the TikToks down because it's very mentally draining.
That's fair, but it's also important to recognize that being lied to over every tiny little thing every day by your close friend is also mentally draining. Those 7 years were probably mentally draining. But does that justify going online and sharing an I don't know how many part series about your friend? Maybe. That's Brianna's experience, right? And that's what she went through. The emotional toll that had taken on her, the manipulation, the fact that it was her bridesmaid for the wedding that she was about to have in a few weeks, you know? The stress she had gone through on those very important weeks leading up to her big day. Like, that combination of all those things, it's understandable that she's allowed to be in those feelings. 7 whole years, and there was not a moment of accountability, not a moment of, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So what are our takeaways from this story? Patterns matter. One lie, that can be forgiven. But a whole lifestyle, that's a scam at this point. You have scammed these people into being your friends at this point. And for that, they are owed an apology, at least, you know? She might be not okay, but that doesn't mean she can wreak havoc in other people's lives. That doesn't mean she can borrow tuition, her university tuition from someone, spend it on God knows what, and not pay that person back. Doesn't mean she can ask someone for money to pay for her mom's funeral. And that's besides the emotional manipulation, besides. So really, while she herself might be a victim, she herself might be going through something, because that's not how a healthy person ought to behave. It's also important to consider that her actions have rippling effects that are affecting the people that are around her, arguably affecting them severely. Boundaries matter, okay? That's another lesson we ought to take out from this. The moment someone tries to erode your boundaries, you need to leave. Like in a reasonable way, like what she did. She said, no. You staring at me for those $50? No, the money is not the issue. The manipulation is. Brianna even said that, you know, she wants proof about the cancer. That's an extraordinary thing to lie about. I would like to refuse to believe that somebody would lie about something like that. But judging the history of her character, I mean, it's become questionable. So Brianna goes on and says,
if she can give us proof that she actually has cancer, then I will publicly apologize to everyone. I'll give her a personal apology.
That's where this has gotten. 7-year friendship. That is just vile. Oh my God, I can't believe someone will lie about that. Intervention. Now I ask you the questions. What are your thoughts? First of all, many questions, okay, that I want to ask you. Number 1, how long do you think your friendship could have lasted with Chu? Do you think you would have been friends with Chu? I feel like I'm quick to leave if I'm not feeling mutually respected. That's 1. 2, do you think Chu's lying about her diagnosis? Her cancer diagnosis? I mean, she said she didn't have cancer. She said it was a benign tumor. That could be, though, a discovery that she later made on her journey, her medical journey. Do you think she's lying about it? Consider her history. Also, this might be a weird thought, but I'm thinking, if I were Brianna, how would I have dealt with the whole situation? Obviously, we're all different, and the way we perceive things and our reactions to things are obviously going to be different. I don't think I could ever see myself, though. I mean, there's been wild things that I've been through. Some are Reesateesa wild, by the way. I could make a 50-part series about a little story I went through, a little stalker situation. But I just don't see myself doing that. I don't see myself making a 50-part series about somebody I personally know. I don't know if that's brave or if it's something else. But we're all different people. So we're not all comfortable doing the same things. Now, I wouldn't talk about somebody I personally know. I just talk about everybody else's drama. No, but I'm just left me wondering about the whole situation. It's an ongoing situation. Like, they're in contact still. Look, I just hope that it works out for all of you. I just hope Brianna has a fantastic wedding. -1 bridesmaid, but that's okay. I could be your bridesmaid. You want me to bridesmaid? What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below, guys. That was pretty much it. I'm gonna go now to bed. Yes, because it is 3 a.m. right now, and I have a flight to catch in 4 hours. Fun. Oh my God, I'm not gonna get any sleep. Oh no. Okay, I lied. The flight is not in 4 hours. The flight is actually at 10 a.m., but that said, I do need to go to sleep, so I'm gonna stand here and watch or sleep stream. No, weirdo.